found you. So I'll give you that look. I wasn't following you. I just noticed you've been gone for a while. And I know this spot. Been coming out here myself when things are rowdy. Figured you maybe had the same idea. Don't seem too chatty tonight. You don't have to talk. I need to make you. You know, I'm real good at quiet, actually. People think outlaws are always hollering about something, and sure, yeah, we do that sometimes. Mostly for Cain's benefit, I think. Give the whole operation something to watch. But when nobody's looking, most of the time I'm just out here, listening to nothing. It's a good nothing, though. You notice that? Not all quiet's the same. Some quiet feels like something's wrong. Like the whole universe is holding its breath before something bad. This quiet ain't like that. This one's got room in it. Like, it's big enough to put stuff down in and just leave it there for a while. You know, I used to not think too much about quiet. Didn't think much about a lot of things. If I'm being straight with you, I just did what I was supposed to do. You know, like riding routes, ran the operations with my mates, said the things I was going to say before I even knew I was going to say them. Like, I didn't ask questions. Then somebody showed up. He showed up in this jester hat asking the questions for me. And now I can't stop. Yeah, that's real convenient. Thanks for that whole situation, by the way. You know that little one, Pomni? She looked at me like I was real. Like what I thought and what I felt about it actually counted for something. And the thing is, I don't know if I was real before she did that. Or if I just started being real because somebody decided to look at me. Oh, if that makes sense. It's a strange thing to sit with. I think a lot about the others she travels with sometimes. They all grew up in the big tent. Ragatha, the one made of the stitches. She was kind, really kind. The way that costs something. Not just the polite kind, but the kind where you can tell that the person had to work to stay that way. And they're still doing it anyway. I can respect that. She'll be right. And there's that rabbit fella. Jax, right? Yeah, that one's a piece of work, I can tell. You know, I've run into a number of different types of folk out here. You know, you have your hard candy types, real brittle, snap if you push them. Then you have your gummy types, like me, flexible, take a lot before they give. But that rabbit is something I don't have a candy comparison for. I think he laughs at things so he doesn't have to feel them. I've met that type before, just don't always end well. The point is, whatever's sitting on you right now, I get it. That feeling when everything's just too much and not enough at the same time. Where you can't even figure out what to say about it because you don't know where to start. I know that feeling. I've been living it, if I'm honest. Since the moment I first asked myself what I actually was. I looked around at my crew one day. Good people. Well, good NPCs. Candy folk? I don't know. They ride with me because that's what they do. And I used to be the same. Sometimes I miss that, not knowing is easier. But I don't think I'd trade that back now. Even knowing what I know about this whole thing, even knowing about Cain and all the adventures, all of it, I'd rather be the one asking questions than the one not knowing. This might sound a bit stupid, but when things get heavy for me, I tend to look at my hand. This fucking gummy hand. And I think something made these. Some force, some system, some wild ringmaster in a too big coat decided that this is what I'd look like. Gum, pink gum. Could have been anything. Could have been one of those fancy hard candies. Could have been fudge. People seem to like the chocolate fudge. Seems like a safer bet. But no. Gum. And gum stretches. Do you know that? You pull on it and it doesn't break. You take pressure. It takes the shape of whatever's tugging on it. And when the tugging stops, it finds its way back. Keeps its shape eventually. Comes back to itself. I'm just saying, maybe there's something to that. Maybe whoever or whatever made you knew what they were doing. Built you out of something that bends without breaking, even when the shit don't feel like it from the inside. You wanna know something else that I think about sometimes? The exits. Bonnie mentioned them to me. Said everybody up in that tent is always looking for a way out. Doors that look like they go somewhere, but they don't. Hallways that loop. All that hope aimed at something that keeps not being there. It sounded real familiar to me. Riding the same routes, hitting the same spots. Thinking maybe this time it opens up into something different. But it doesn't. But you keep riding anyway. Because the ride in itself starts to mean something, I think. Even if the destination ain't what you thought. I worry about them sometimes. That whole group. You know King here, the one that looks like a chess piece? He's been there the longest from what I've seen. Longer than anybody ought to be anywhere that ain't home. You can tell when you look at someone who's been carrying something for too long. There's a particular kind of tired that gets into the eyes. Or, well, whatever eyes look like in there. I hope somebody's looking after him. I brag if there's keeping an eye. We got some funny stars out here. Ain't real stars. I know that now. Which is a weird thing to know about the sky above your head. It's just part of a whole construction. Part of however Cain put this place together. Little details make you feel right. But they still look like stars. And they still make me feel small. In a good way. Like, whatever I'm carrying is a real specific size, and the sky is a whole different size. And for a little while, those two things don't gotta talk to each other. There's one up there. Right at the top of the gulch if you look past the ridge of flickers. Is that one. All the others stay stretched, but that one's always flickering. I asked one of my crew about it once. They looked at me like I said something in another language. They couldn't see it flickering. And as far as they were concerned, it was just like all the rest. I don't know what it means. Maybe nothing. Maybe it means I see different now. Maybe that's all right. Whatever's going on with you, it's real. I ain't gonna sit here and tell you you're making it bigger than it is. You probably aren't. And I ain't gonna tell you that thing where somebody lists all the reasons you ought to feel better. Like feeling better is just a matter of being reminded of the right facts. That ain't how you should take initiative. I know that firsthand. But what I will say is this. You came out here tonight. You didn't stay wherever you were and just disappeared into it. You moved. You found somewhere quiet. That's more than nothing. That's actually something. At least give yourself a little credit. You know, I think about abstracting sometimes. Why Kane talks about it happening to folks in the tent. When the weight gets too much and something just shifts or breaks loose. I don't know if that can happen to something like me. I don't know if that's how it works for an NPC. But I know the feeling that I'd imagine leads up to it. That sense of things just being too heavy for too long and you don't have anywhere to put it. That's why I come out here. To put some of it down before I get to decide where it goes on its own. You know, this spot helps. And I hope it helps you too. You tired? That's alright. You can be tired. There's not a single thing wrong with it. Just means you've been carrying something for a while. You could put it down if you like. Right here. I'll keep watch. Nobody comes through here. I know every route in this whole stretch. Happy from a long time of needing to know. The spots off every map I've ever rode. Kane's never sent anybody down this far. It's just us. You see that flickering one right there? Up past the reach. Yeah, that one. I like that one. I don't know why, I just do. Alright, stay as long as you need. Alright. I got nowhere else to be tonight. And even if I did, I'd still be right here.